The Ancient Hebrew Wedding, Part 8a. The importance of the codes that lead to the only mark that matters, that of the Father. Tabnith, the pattern and the marks. Why are these marks of Mother and Father important to us, and why should it matter? If becoming Elohim, Lelaha, and Eshra is not enough motivation for you, then it's time to look into the mark. But first, I must lay some foundational pieces. This teaching will be in 2 parts. I would like to declare something, though. What we are presenting is not a different religion. In fact, it is the opposite of this. It is nothing. It's the word ayin. It is a system to study that which makes us nothing, meaning having no fleshly substance, which would keep us tethered to this material plane. We become of the substance of light. Any darkness within will keep you from it. That is what religion does. It never sets us free. It binds us. However, these codes, which is metaology, will. Let's begin. Before we move on, I would like to address a passage that the Spirit placed upon my heart. Many things I've shared with you have been difficult to assimilate due to our programming and indoctrination. I comprehend the struggle as I have experienced it myself in wrestling these subjects. The disciples in Yeshua's time likewise experienced this. Look at some passages in John chapter 6. And then Jesus said to them, "Most assuredly I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up in the last day. For my flesh is food indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in him. As the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so he who feeds on me will live because of me. This is the bread that came down from heaven. Not as your fathers ate the manna and are dead. He who eats this bread will live forever." Therefore many of his disciples, when they heard, said, "This is a hard saying, who can understand it?" From that, many of his disciples went back, walked away, and walked with him no more. Then Jesus said to the 12, "Do you also want to go away?" But Simon Peter answered him, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life." I could say much about this whole passage, as I am able to comprehend what Yeshua was saying through the Father's teaching, the codes. The Father's teaching is the spiritual manna from heaven that has been hidden manna, until we made ourselves ready to receive it. I'm sharing this with you because in the course of sharing some of these past revelations, some of which have been very hard to comprehend, there are those who have walked away simply because they were unable to endure challenging information that challenges the construct in which we live in. We have purposely been confined and shackled through teachings of those who would seek to control us. But the word, lemra, which was revealed in part 6 of this teaching series, through the proper lenses of Father's teaching, the codes, is the truth that sets us free from the bondage placed to control and manipulate us. If we truly comprehended that which is being spoken to us, given to us, they, the controllers, would lose their grip on us. I'm sharing this with you so that you can rise up as kings and queens, walking a path of righteousness, set above so that the controllers cannot touch you as one who is set in the Shamayim. If you are still here, then you are one who desires the words, lemra, of life, the eternal sayings that lift you up to become queen the Elohim of Allah as Allah. You are the brave ones who will be set free, as you already are. You have just forgotten, and hopefully these teachings will help you to remember. Moving on, let me set some foundational pieces for the mark, what it is and why it's important. I will need to share with you a well-known passage to the Jew and to those of the Hebrew roots and Messianic communities known as the Shema. As I share this with you, I will not read the italicized words as they have been added by the translators. Deuteronomy 6, 4-9, the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord, one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. And these words which I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and you shall talk of them when you sit in the house, and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. This is another passage of Scripture that should have a teaching on its own, and it will. But again, I will have to save that for another day. Let's look at the Hebrew words of the very first portion of the Shema. First of all, Shema through methodology means to hear intelligently and obey are the ones of the name, the conspicuous, who have honor, authority, and character, of fire and water, who can see. So this is letting us know that the Shema is for those who are of the tribesmen, the brothers, the descendants of the patriarch, Israel. However, all can graft in. I have in past teachings broken down the word Israel, but on the simple translation, it is those who are given the vision that are the heirs, having prevailed as El, God. In the next portion, the last 4 words on the screen, the Lord is one. Let's first address Eloheinu. Through methodology, we have El, God, the strong leaders, who are the shepherd teachers, revealed, who have the open hand of power that gives, not takes, who have raised their flesh through the spiritual path, now no longer corruptible, having removed the beast ego parasitic fallen flesh, the meek in the earth, having power under control, now having connected to both vows of mother and father. They are here to connect. But what to? What are they connecting to? Now let's look at the Tetragrammaton. The Jews speak this word as Yahovah, as they will not speak the sacred name. It is the 2 teachings, revelations of mother and father, that are connected to one another. It is these teachings that make us Eloheinu. And it is these teachings that are also the visions realized within us, making us Echad, one, giving us the ability to connect to oneness, Christ consciousness, crystalline consciousness. That is when we have the power restored back to us as sovereigns, no longer controlled or manipulated, no longer taking, but with the spirit of giving, full of unconditional love, with our memories returned. Translated as one, we have the Hebrew word Echad, and looking at Echad through the methodology codes, we have the brothers that are of the door, the family who were yoked and tamed through instruction, having become teaching shepherds with the staff of authority that they use to urge and goad others on through the teachings of mother and father, which are the door to the inner man, the door of the heart. These teachers speak forth revelation while in the material realm and possess the thousandfold Christ anointing. They have been set apart from those who are outside of the covenant, as ones who were given a seed vision planted within, those who give and not take. This vision provided the power, means, and direction to find their way and receive the signature frequency mark of the Father. They all went through the inward door that revealed that which they were lacking as the poor in spirit, so they could be delivered. This is the foundation for what we will be speaking about for the rest of this teaching here on out. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. I need to also speak a little about why we see division in religion before we move forward. And I do want to remind you that people that are religious of any form of worship will be offended with what I am sharing, but I must reveal the truth if we are ever going to have true peace. So let's look at a quick comparison, as this is definitely an example of the duality we live in. Christians believe that Jesus and God are the same thing. They also believe that there is no more law. And all of that is blasphemous to the Jew. The Jews, in their eyes, believe that there is only one God. So, from the perspective of the Christian, they believe that this would make two gods, which would be a violation of their law. The Jews have the law and the Talmud, and the Christians believe that there is no law as it's been done away with. Christians study the New Testament, the Brit Chadashah, and the Jews study the Tanakh, the Old Testament. They are both right and wrong at the same time. Duality as its finest. These codes were to be given with the covenant. It is the law of one through covenant. But because neither side has been given the codes, neither one can see each other due to their own interpretations, whether in the English narrative or reading the Hebrew Aramaic language, and without the codes only surface readings and interpretations, it will cause division, duality. Always, in previous teachings, I shared that we become Lelaha and Elohim as El, making us one with God, Echad, unified as God. We are just a fragment from the same source, consciousness, living out an experience in creation, and then we return back to source. What connects to what I am sharing over and over again is the Aleph. It always comes back to Aleph. 1. 1,000, as in the thousandfold measure of anointing, that of the Christ, crystalline consciousness, and the number 1 are the same thing in toroidal math. 1 in Hebrew gematria is the Aleph. All is one. Let's talk about the prodigal son. There are two portions to the teachings of the codes, mother's portion and then father. Two teachings to make one fruitful, to become fruit. The name Ephraim means doubly fruitful. We are the prodigal sons and daughters coming home, with the codes, the 10 northern tribes dispersed, which gives us the covering of the Father, the robe of the firstborn as firstfruits, and the signet ring. Then we bring them to the eldest brother, Judah, who have stewarded the original languages, the Torah scrolls as well as the Dead Sea Scrolls. We didn't squander the inheritance. We gathered it, and it brought us back home spiritually. How can I say this? First of all, Through the codes it can be seen. But specifically in the phrase regarding the prodigal son, that I have sinned before heaven, the word chata is the root for chatif. And chatif means to miss the mark and sin, but it also can mean to find favor. Again, duality within the language. Quickly through the codes of metaology, father's portion with mother, we have this. Those who have found favor are those who have been set apart from those outside of the covenant. They wrestled in the mud in the basket with the vision of becoming, either choosing covenant or to continue to wrestle with the reptilian beast nature while in the basket. For those who overcome the beast reptilian nature, they were then marked with the frequency of the Father having now found life. They held out their hand to receive that which was freely given to them. The power, means, and direction from the right hand, and they hold out their hand to give as well. They are those that are marked with the sine wave frequency of those who have been set above, out of the waters of chaos. They have spiritually built the family name and are those who are conspicuous, having honor, authority, and character as the marked in individuality, now of the heavens, as living fire and water, who have been empowered and are sealed as the family of God, anointed now as one. These codes have not been seen since the fall of Atlantis, which is when we truly fell. And that was the last time that they were seen for all of humanity who chose the spiritual path. Because of this, you can see how the literal translations have manifested through the phylacteries on heads and the bands on hands and arms. It was not meant to be literal, which is the letter of the law, but rather the spirit of the law, as seen through the codes, which is leading us to what the rest of this teaching portion will be speaking on, Part B, the marks that matter. As a side note, for those of you who have not watched Behold the Beast of Revelation in our Inspiration series, this will help set up what I will be speaking about in the next teaching, Part B, regarding the hand and the forehead connected to the Kayutha, the beast. When the two, Ephraim and Judah, join back together, the two sticks in one hand, the hand of power that gives, we will have, through the meaning behind their names, those who worship and celebrate are those who are doubly fruitful. This will upset the apple cart for sure for everyone, but it needs to happen. Because the Jews have said that they are God's chosen people, the phrase Am Sagol, which literally translated is purple people, but they have said that it means God's chosen people, it has produced much pride in them, and this will be a very difficult issue for them to resolve within. However, for those of us who have the codes, it will be our hearts having unconditional love for them that will make this transition easier. Beauty will come out of it. It truly will be the restoration of all things. Unless both sides are humbled. If both are in the position of pride, which has its foundation based in fear, the parasitic beast ego nature, we will never see truth, and we will never see each other clearly as one, which means that we will need to stay in the school of duality. These teachings and codes have come to bring peace, to break the animosity that divides us, the true beast that resides within all of us. We will need each other to resolve this conflict. And I haven't even brought up the Muslims and their views regarding the Jews and Christians. This is the healing of the brothers, which will then heal the nations, if we can all humble ourselves and come together. The Metaology codes will unite all in abolishing religion that separates, which is attached to the beast ego nature. It is a parasite. This is not a religion. It is the way. The way to vanquish the beast ego parasitic nature that divides all of us, bringing us back into unity as one. And the Kabbalists, who have studied the mystical side of the language, will finally have the da'at. How do I know this? As the word yada means to know, the tav has been added, which is the Father's covenant, the codes. This is the hidden knowledge, which is the key that unlocks everything to the fulfillment of Adam Kadmon. As you can see, we will all need each other. One more side note. The original position of religion was meant to help us tame the beast ego nature, so that we do not do beast-like things that are not becoming. But it's not where we are to camp. It was only a temporary fix until the final cure to the parasite would come. And it would come forth in order to abolish it, the beast and religion. We are to move on past religion that binds us, because the light has come since 2012. And it is through the language of light, now with the Father's teaching, the codes to unlock it, that we can truly manifest love unconditionally, the fullness of love and light. As we raise our vibrational level, increasing light within, we can take in more light, as light is information. You first must have enough light within in order to begin to see the letters of light. Those who do not have enough of that, the light within, will never see the need for this language. But for those who do, we will reverse the curse, that of the veil of forgetting, bringing back restoration, as if the fall never happened. Selah. Shalom, shalom.